Well, she was shot in the leg and held hostage by her husband for 5 hours. Now a local woman's breaking her silence to News Channel 15, revealing details of that terrifying day and how a protective order failed her. In this 15 Finds Out report on protective orders, Aisha Husni shares that woman's story from Studio 15.
Well, yesterday I looked into the effectiveness of protective orders to try to figure out if it's a shield or just a piece of paper. I found out it's a tool as good as any law. Tonight, Dawn King shares her story to show us what happens when things go wrong.
I have to turn these screws to lengthen my bone every day.
Dawn King's shattered leg is a painful physical reminder of the terrifying day she nearly lost her life at the hands of her husband. Dawn married Wayne King last June, but by November, their relationship turned rocky. She says Wayne started getting angry all the time, breaking her things and threatening to harm her. Dawn got a protective order against him, but it didn't stop him from repeatedly threatening her.
He was going to make sure that he was going to destroy me and everything around me.
Did you believe him?
I didn't really think that he would go to the extent that he did.
That extent would change Dawn's life forever. She says the constant harassment had gotten so bad, she and her 13-year-old daughter decided to get away for a while. One March morning, the two were packing inside when Wayne showed up in a rage. Dawn's daughter ran to a neighbor's house to get help, leaving Dawn and Wayne alone in the house.
At that time, I seen a shotgun. And I knew at that point in time, things weren't going to be good.
What happened next is frightening.
We have like this step up that goes into the living room, and he like lays my head on there, and he picks up his foot and is getting ready to like kick my face in, and then he decides not to, and he's like, no, wait a minute, I'm going to load this gun.
Dawn says Wayne intended to kill her.
Well, he points it directly at my chest, and I push it down. And that's when he shot my foot.
What are you thinking at that time?
I'm thinking I'm gonna die.
Outside, a SWAT team and dozens of officers surrounded her home. For the next 5 hours, they tried to negotiate with Wayne as he held his bleeding wife hostage.
I keep going up, I'm passing them out and shaking.
Dawn was praying for a miracle, but she was quickly losing hope and a lot of blood.
Towards the end, no, I thought I was going to die. Because I couldn't hardly hang on, you know. It was like I didn't know what time it was, but I know it had been a very long time. Every time I goes off, he'd kick my leg. He did a lot of things, hurtful things in there.
That's when officers finally decided to end the standoff by shooting and killing Wayne. Dawn was rushed off to help.
I was very scared. I was really scared. I didn't want to die.
Now surrounded by faith and friends, Dawn is picking up the pieces. But she says her ordeal didn't have to happen. Dawn tells me Wayne constantly violated his protective order, harassing her with phone calls, text messages, and by breaking into her home. But Wayne was never arrested.
We called the cops all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time.
Now she wants to spread awareness about how her situation can happen to anyone.
Protective order is supposed to be in place to protect the person. And if it's not going to be enforced, if breaking of the protective order is not going to be enforced, there's going to be a lot of people die.
Now, the DeKalb County Chief Deputy says the department was aware of all the complaints against Wayne King, but because police never physically saw him violate the order, they were trying to build a stronger case based on those text messages and phone calls on the other evidence to issue an arrest warrant. The standoff and what led up to it is still under investigation. In Studio 15 tonight, Aisha Husni, News Channel 15.